Very good evening. You're watching News Night on Times Now World. My name is Pranesh Kumar Roy. A massive face-off has broken out over Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee. You would remember just hours after Nobel Prize was announced for Abhijit Banerjee, politics had broken out. Many people suggested that Prime Minister's message to him on Twitter was 4 hours too late and too little. Well, today Prime Minister Modi spent some time with Abhijit Banerjee, met him in person, felicitated him and upheld the tradition, the Indian tradition of Samvad and Satkar. Did the Lutyens lobby jump the gun? That's our debate. And before I open this up, let's play out reactions that we have.
PM was kind enough to give me quite a lot of time and to talk a lot about his way of thinking about India, which was quite unique because, you know, one hears about policies, but one rarely hears about the thinking behind it. And he talked about the way he sees governance in particular and why, some sense, maybe the mistrust of the people on the ground, not a responsive government. And in that process, he also, I think, very nicely explained how he's trying to reform the bureaucracy to make it more responsive.
All right, let me open this up. Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, also on the show. Anirban Banerjee is a political analyst. Good evening to both of you. Anirban, let me begin with you. What do you make of Prime Minister Modi's gesture of meeting, not just meeting Abhijit Banerjee, but also saying that India is proud of his achievements?
This is nothing more than a photo obsession. We know that Mr. Narendra Modi is excellent at doing these kind of photo obsessions at every opportunity. But if Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, is very, very honest about his approach towards the ideas of Mr. Abhijit Banerjee, then let's just see what he actually does on ground to alleviate poverty according to what Mr. Abhijit Banerjee thinks is right. He is a strong critic of not giving rebates to, about giving rebates to the corporate taxes. He's a strong critic about that policy. Will the government rethink its policy about giving rebate to corporates? Let's see if Mr. Narendra Modi is honest about it. Let him instruct Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman to give that decision a rollback thought over. Only then will we see that he is actually respecting the ideas of Mr. Abhijit Banerjee and not simply using him as a photo obsession opportunity.
Now, Anirban, it's curious you call it photo op, and you're saying that Abhijit Banerjee is a strong critic of the policies of the NDA government. But don't you think, despite him being a strong critic, the Prime Minister meeting him, praising his work, lauding his achievements, isn't that a good sign, a healthy sign?
Well, the Prime Minister had also met Mr. Nawaz Sharif once. If you think that that was a healthy sign, then I have no words to say. But this, as I say, is nothing but a show
wasn't
that I am
healthy?
trying
Meeting
to
Nawaz
honor
Sharif
this
wasn't
man
healthy,
and
you
everything.
believe?
But had Mr.
India is
Abhijit
trying
Banerjee,
everything it can to ensure peace between the two countries.
Meeting Nawaz Sharif,
if Pakistan backstabs, betrays, resorts to treachery, what can we do? We can only try.
Uninvited,
Anila Singh ji,
an enemy country.
Do you agree with what Anirban is saying?
Of course you can try, but going to an enemy country without any invitation, without any diplomatic
I think so. He is not in his proper mental frame. Mr. Ban, this question is from me. I have been asked the question, so let me reply. I think Mr. Ban is not in his proper mind frame. That is why he is giving such weird and bizarre statement, I can say. He is comparing Mr. Abhijit with Nawaz Sharif. So, I mean, they are two different personalities altogether. So, you cannot compare like this. At least you should have some common ground of comparison. And secondly, you are saying that Abhijit Banerjee doesn't believe in corporate tax reduction. So, Prime Minister is going to apply that. So, let me tell you one, Mr. Ban, you should have some manners, some decency. When I am saying, even I can talk over you, but this is a very serious debate and subject is very serious. So let me speak and then you can say whatever you want to say.
Hear the other side, please.
Mr. Ban,
1 minute. Anirban, I'll come back to you again. Don't lose your cool, please.
Of people living in West Bengal.
Don't lose your cool, Anirban. You made a point. Let Anila Singh ji respond to you. I'll bring you back again.
And I mean, just imagine the people calling Narendra Modi ji bigot. I mean, these are the people who have got a psyche, I can say sick psyche. I mean, if a person whose roots are from our country, he has been awarded Nobel Prize, we all are proud of him. We do not say that whether his policies are right, whether his policies are wrong, whether he comes from West Bengal, he comes from Uttar Pradesh, we are not bothered about that. He is from India and he has been awarded. We are proud of him. And let me tell you one thing, Mr. Anirban, I mean, any good government take advices from all the learned people. Then it is up to the government what it chooses and what it
Anirban
rejects.
now respond to you.
Because
Yes,
every
Anirban.
government has to see that what is right for the people of
Right, he's
its
heard you,
country.
Anila Singh ji,
So
he's
do not
heard you.
try to
Let him
dictate
respond.
terms That if Prime Minister of our country has met Mr. Abhijit, then he should agree whatever he says.
We've got that point. Anila
It is
Singh ji,
not
we've
like
got that point. Let Anirban
So, I mean,
respond to that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the idea is that the Nobel Prize has been awarded to the ideas, to the thoughts, the policies about which Mr. Banerjee has been speaking about, writing about and preaching about. It is not awarded to a person per se. It is to his ideas, his works. So if Mr. Narendra Modi is actually respecting Mr. Abhijit Banerjee, he has to respect his ideas about the economy, his proposals about alleviation of poverty, and to show proper respect to his ideas, you must follow them up with some actions. Where are the actions? Until and unless you put forth his ideas into actions, this kind of
What
photo
logic
opportunity
is this,
sessions will be
Anirban?
nothing more
I
than
fail to
photo
understand.
sessions.
What logic is this? If you meet somebody, it does not necessarily mean that you ape
As
the
I said,
idea. No, 1 minute. 1 minute. Hear me out, sir. You may not endorse somebody's ideology.
Prime Minister met
1 minute.
Mamata Banerjee also doesn't
Yeah.
mean that he got influenced by her.
What is this logic, Anirban? Come on.
So there you go. There you go. Ms. Anila Singh has committed that Mr. Modi is not going to care about the ideas and suggestions of
It is
Mr.
not that he
Banerjee.
does
She
not
has said
care
that
about
right
the
now.
idea. 1 minute.
He is not
Let's
going to
get
influenced
this
by his
straight.
ideas.
Just
1
This
minute.
is
1
nothing
minute.
more than a photo
It is not.
session.
No. I think we are missing the larger point here. The debate is Rahul Gandhi on Twitter had criticized the NDA government. He said he went on to use the term bigots for them. Now that Prime Minister as Modi has met him, praised Abhijit Banerjee, has he silenced his critics? Yes or no?
Mr. Abhijit Banerjee is a stern critic of the demonetization policy, of the action of demonetization.
He
so
may
is
be.
Mr. Modi accepting that
But
demonetization
he
was
may
wrong?
be. He may be. He is not accepting
you
or
say that
conceding
Mr.
anything.
Modi is accepting
He is not
that
accepting or
demonetization is
conceding
wrong.
anything. I don't know,
So then
why you are
what is
coming
this
up with these
meeting?
arguments.
What
It
is
does
this
not
fiasco
mean
about?
1 minute, Anirban. Now
You
that I am
cannot-
talking to you, 1
cannot
minute.
really
Are you
bypass
suggesting
the
now that
statements and
1
opinion
minute?
of a person?
You don't have to. That is not important. It is the courtesy of acknowledging
that's-
something,
Of course, that's
of
important.
felicitating somebody.
That is great. As I said, felicitating somebody
say that
without
it
following
is
up
great.
with any
Anila
meaningful
Singh ji,
action
is it a case of
exactly
sour
the
grapes
definition
now
of
for
photo
those
obsession.
who have criticized
That is exactly the definition of photo obsession.
Say, we have a leader with whom people love to get photographs clicked. So is that your problem? If you have a leader like Mamata Banerjee with whom people do not like their photo op opportunity, then that is the problem of Mamata Banerjee. We know very well that how good Mr. Modi is when he has to deal with the economic matters.
Kind of photograph
Just see
and
where
photo of
Pakistan is today.
opportunities. She
Where
is not an
Pakistan is
opportunist
today.
person as far as I know.
He is extremely
She is
good in
very,
foreign
very different
policy,
from
So are
economic
you
policy
suggesting
and social
Mamata Banerjee is not going to meet Abhijit Banerjee? Anirban, is that what you're saying? And if she meets,
And let me
will
tell
she
you,
follow
of course,
everything that
Rahul
Abhijit
Gandhi
Banerjee
and
has to
Mamata
offer?
Of course,
Banerjee,
she is
they are
going
not
to
going
meet.
decide
Of
that
course,
what
she is going to
economic
meet
policies
Mr.
are
Mamata.
Then will that be a
Abhijit
photo
Banerjee.
opportunity also?
Applied
She is
in a
not going to
country.
turn it into a photo of
No, but how
opportunity.
so who defines what is a photo
single
opportunity?
person
Come on.
of her
Talk some
party.
concrete.
Just a moment.
Yeah,
just a
go ahead,
moment.
make your point.
No
Talk some
single
concrete
person
matter.
of
You
PMC
whatever
or
you
1 minute,
CPM or
Anila Singh ji, let him have his say.
ever slandered Mr. Abhijit Banerjee. not a single person of the TMC or the Congress or the CPM, for that matter, any party other than the BJP has slanders for Mr. Abhijit Banerjee.
Okay, let me
This
ask
is the
Anila
double
Singh ji.
standard,
Anila
the
Singh ji, do you
double-faced
believe there
nature
are
of the
people in your
BJP?
party who've slandered Abhijit Banerjee, who've ridiculed him, who've trivialized his achievement?
See, I know one thing. If I talk about the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party, our senior most leadership is Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of our country. And today he met Mr. Banerjee, he felicitated him, he praised him, he listened him, and he welcomed his thoughts. It doesn't mean that what he has said, he is going to apply 100%.
What about Mr. Tathagata
or
Rai?
he rejected all the thought process
What about
of
Mr.
Mr.
Rahul
Abhijit
Sinha?
Banerjee. So let me say, see, as I told you, have talk some sense here, Anirban. I mean, you are simply talking and you're criticizing for the sake of
Anirban is
criticizing.
only trying to highlight.
the names of
Anila Singh ji, Anirban is only trying to highlight the comments. 1 minute, Anila Singh ji, Anirban is precisely 1 minute.
You shouldn't have shared this panel.
All right, let me tell you what he means. He is only talking about the comments made by these leaders, which is why he's taking these names. What do you have to say in defense?
But I am telling you, you are going to listen to the senior most leadership of a party, or you are going to give me examples of different leaders in our
Anila Singh ji,
political
Piyush
party.
Goyal is not an ordinary
If
party
Mamata
worker. He is a
Banerjee says
union
something,
minister.
we are going to listen to what
No, there are many people
Banerjee
believe.
is saying,
No,
or
1
we are
minute.
going to listen what Mr. Anil
There are
Bhan
many
is saying.
people believe that what happened today was an exercise in damage control.
Absolutely not. You know that how Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji works. You know, I mean, I do not have to discuss that. The two leaders of our party, the two senior most leaders of our party, if I talk about Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, their way of working is very clear and they do not beat around the bush. If what they have to do, what they have to say, they do that. They are not here to please
are you
anybody.
suggesting that what Prime Minister Modi has done today,
work for the good.
he's also
for the
sent a
common good.
message to all these people, including the likes of Piyush Goyal, who had said that, oh, he's some left-leaning economist?
That might be a personal thought process of Piyush Goyal ji, but if you talk about political party, Bharatiya Janata Party as a political party, then definitely what the senior most leader says, we have to trust that.
He said that in a press conference.
I am asking you a simple question. In TMC, what Mamata Banerjee says, that is the ultimate,
I actually
or what
thank you,
other
Ms.
leaders
Anila Singh.
say.
I
That is the final word.
have heartiest congratulations for your honest submission that nothing else matters other than Modi and Amit Shah. Everybody else are meaningless in your party. Thank you for your submission.
We do listen to our senior most leadership, let me tell you very clearly. We do listen. And you should also trust what
And
our senior
everybody
most
else,
leadership
and
says.
everybody else means nothing to
I am
you.
pretty sure that it must be
So
happening
the union
in your
ministers
party too.
like Piyush
If your party is a
Goyal,
disciplined
the
party.
leaders like Anand Hegde, the leaders like Rahul Sinha, they mean nothing
For
to you.
us senior most
Is that
leadership,
what you are saying right now?
BJP senior most leadership is Narendra Modi
So the
ji,
opinion
and
of Mr.
whatever he
Piyush
says,
Goyal
that
means
is
nothing
the
to you.
final word.
Does the opinion of Mr.
I am
Piyush
saying
Goyal
it in
matter
very
to you or
clear
not?
and bold words.
Does the opinion of
Whatever-
Piyush Goyal matter to you?
Whatever Mr. Narendra Modi
Yes or
ji
no?
says in our party, that
Yes
is
or
the
no?
final word.
Does the opinion of
And
Tathagata
we
Rai
all are
matter to
very
you?
dedicated
Are these
workers
unimportant
of the
people
party.
to you?
No,
And
but
it is a
Anila
very
Singh ji, you will have to
disciplined
answer
party.
these
And
questions.
That is the reason.
That's brilliant.
That is the
You will have
reason
to
we are
answer these
winning
questions at
elections
some
after
point.
Well,
elections.
means nothing to you.
I have said it in very clear words. As a government head, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is working for the common good of this country people. And as a worker of my party, I know that for all of us,
So is Mr.
whether the
Piyush Goyal
person
not working
is
for the
any
common good
leader
of the
or a
country people?
minister or a party post holder,
So what is
for
Mr. Piyush
us,
Goyal working
the
for?
final word is of Narendra Modi ji. He is the senior most leader. And you must understand this thing that because a party is
So
very
nothing,
dedicated and disciplined,
other leaders, they don't
dedication
matter
for the
to you,
country,
right?
because we are the party
So
of the
no other
patriots.
leaders
We are
are
the party
But
of
in
the patriots.
Anirban,
We
will
love our country.
you concede
We
that
love
many
our
people who
country.
criticize Prime
We do
Minister
not-
Modi
we do not
personally,
live for the-
they jumped
for
the gun?
vote bank policy. We live for this country.
as I said earlier, that it is not a private criticism, it is not a criticism of the individual, but his ideas and ideology. Of course, the ideology of the Prime Minister is something that we are not agreed with, so we will always criticize his ideas, and that is exactly what I wanted to point out, that Mr. Abhijit Banerjee has been awarded for his ideas, for his policies. Will the BJP accept his ideas? Will they follow his policy? Only
and
then,
how many
if they
ideas
do,
have
only
Mamata
then
Banerjee
will they
applied
be
in
able
West
to show
Bengal?
proper respect to the Nobel laureate.
But Anirban, are you suggesting that by meeting somebody you necessarily have to follow that person's ideology? Is that possible, sir? Does it happen? Is it practical?
No, of course not. Of course not. If you don't want to follow, we all know that this BJP government is always going to favor their crony capitalist friends and never listen to
Anila Singh ji wants to respond to that charge.
That is exactly
Anila Singh ji,
why this is nothing but a photo obsession.
See, I just want to make two quick points here. Number one, I want to know from Mr. Anil Ban that how many ideas from Abhijit Banerjee has been applied in West Bengal by Mamata Banerjee. I want to know that, if he can answer me. Secondly, like he was talking that what type of ideology Bharatiya Janata Party has towards crony capitalism. So let me ask him one simple question, because they are in, I think so, with great understanding with the Congress people, like Raghuram Rajan and Mr. Manmohan Singh. They both were economists, great economists, so-called great economists. Then also so much of banking corruption was existing. Why was so? Like our country economy, you know, it was hollowed because of their wrong policies. Again, I mean, is Mr. Ban going to say anything on that? Is he going to comment on that? Let us talk about economic ideologies. You are here to appreciate ideology of Congress. You are criticizing BJP ideology. So I want to know your reaction. Number one, you have to tell me that how many policies has been applied.
Okay,
by
I'll let Anirban answer that. Anirban, very quickly.
How Congress ideology was better than Bharatiya Janata Party?
See, the perception of the BJP has been very clear on this debate itself. They think that Mr. Abhijit Banerjee is a person of the Congress just because he had advised Mr. Rahul Gandhi while creating the manifesto. But as far as I know, Mr. Banerjee is not partisan towards
this
any
is not the answer
party.
of my question.
He has his own ideas about the economy. He wanted to give some advice to the Congress party.
I'll tell you what Abhijit Banerjee said just after his meeting, and we're playing those graphics. He said Prime Minister spoke about his vision for India, which he thought was unique. Prime Minister wants to reform the bureaucracy, make it more responsive. One rarely hears about the thinking behind policies. Now, this is what Abhijit Banerjee said after the meeting. He was very, very pleased.
That is exactly what a large-hearted person like Abhijit Banerjee would say. In stark contrast to what Mr. Piyush Goyal
now
said,
I'll tell you,
Mr. Anant Kumar Hegde said.
Okay, now listen to what the Prime Minister tweeted.
This is exactly what a Nobel
Is this not large-heartedness? 1 minute. Had an healthy and extensive interaction, passionate towards human empowerment, clearly visible. Passion towards human empowerment, clearly visible. India is proud of his accomplishments. Is this not large-heartedness, Anirban?
If Mr. Modi is very honest about his own tweets, let him also reprimand his party leaders who had nothing but bad mouthing and foul words for Mr. Abhijit Banerjee. Will he do that?
Anila Singh ji, will that happen?
See, he did not reply what I asked from him. I asked that Mamata Banerjee apply policies suggested by Mr. Abhijit. He didn't reply me. I said he talked about ideologies. I said compare Congress ideology with BJP. And
will Mr. Modi criticize Anant Kumar Hegde?
And tell that how Congress benefited the economy of our country and how Bharatiya Janata Party has harmed it. He did not reply me because we very well know because wrong policies of the Congress, of the UPA government, they have harmed the economy of our country. Now
As
we are
simple
trying
as
to
that.
correct it, reprimand
It is
it.
not about the
And
UPA
secondly, you
government or
are
the India
getting
government.
cramps
It is
because
about your own
Abhijit,
party.
Mr. Abhijit was
Your
so
own
happy
party
after
leaders have been
meeting
foul-mouthing
Narendra
Mr.
Modi
Abhijit Banerjee, and now your leader meets him,
Abhijit
comes out with a large smile.
Banerjee,
This
Mr.
is called
Abhijit
hypocrisy,
Banerjee
man.
was so happy after meeting Prime
This is
Minister
called
of a
hypocrisy,
country.
man.
That is why you are getting cramps in your stomach. That is
This
the
called
only reason.
hypocrisy.
That is the only reason.
This is called hypocrisy.
Leaders
He's
like
going to
you,
meet
like
every
Mr.
tall leader in our
Gandhi,
country. He's going to meet Mamata Banerjee. Will you get cramps in
and
your stomach?
also called.
Why so envious? Go to school, send your children to school, ask them to study and get admission
Who
in
is
JNU.
envious? I think
They might
envious
also
are
become a
the
Nobel laureate.
political parties who are seeing their
Of course you are
future
envious.
simply by
Six
Six
job.
Nobels from the
You
land
will
of
have to
Bengal,
answer those
not
questions.
from the land of nowhere.
Will the Prime Minister or the BJP leadership have a word with these people
Six
who,
Nobels from
according to
Bengal. How many
Anirban,
from your
slandered
state?
Abhijit Banerjee?
6 Nobels from Bengal. How many from your state?
Bengal is an integral part of our country, Mr. Ban. You should mind your language.
No, let's not make this
Don't
Bengal
try to
versus rest
talk
of India.
like,
Anirban,
as if
please.
West Bengal is
What
not a
kind
part
I
of
won't allow you to
language?
do that. No, 1
We
minute.
have got 6 Nobels from Bengal.
1 minute.
Mind your
This is
language.
not about Bengal versus the rest of India.
People
Please,
like
Anirban,
you
please.
should be, people
What
like
mind
you,
your
you
language?
should be behind
What
the
mind
bars.
your language? We have got 6 Nobels from Bengal. I'll proudly say
Anila
I'm a
Singh
proud
ji.
Yes,
Bengali.
West Bengal is not
I'm a
part
proud
of
Okay,
India.
let's come back
from
on
the
the
land
topic.
which
1
has
minute.
got
Let's
6
come back on the
Nobels.
topic we were debating.
We are not those
You
people
should be
who
proud
slanders Nobel
Indian.
laureates.
You should be proud Bharatiya.
Let's not get personal, please.
You should be proud
Anila
Bharatiya.
Singh ji, Anirban, let's not get personal, please.
Yes, I am a proud Indian. I am a proud Indian, but I am not proud of you people. I am a proud Indian,
So
but
say
I'm not
like
proud
that.
of the. I'm not proud.
That
I'm not
is
proud
why
for
you
the
people are
BJP.
getting cramps in the stomach, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji talks about 130 crores people living in this country. He talks about the common good. He
Are the
wants that the
country is
people should
getting
have
cramps
at
in its
least
stomach because
a
of
roof
the
on
All
the
right,
top.
Anirban,
We should have clean toilets.
final
We should have
questions
clean
to you. We
drinking
don't have
water,
much time on the
clean
show.
air.
1 minute. Anila Singh ji, 1 minute.
That is
1 minute.
the problem.
Anirban, Anirban, hear this.
Politicians are giving stomach
would you
cramps to
say-
the people of this country.
Okay, you've said that, sir. Please, come on. Isn't Samvad and
Whole of the
Satkar
world
good?
is recognizing the
Yeah,
work
please
done
go
by
on.
Prime Minister Narendra
Anila
Modi ji,
Singh
and
ji,
they are
1
giving
minute.
different awards to him.
Let me come in here. Isn't Samvad and Satkar good? If you believe it is good, shouldn't it be saluted? Is there room for politics in this? Are we trivializing this?
Of course, meeting a person, greeting him,
Is this question
felicitating
for
him is
me?
very good. But it will be even better only when you follow up with proper action. Unless and until you do that, your ministers, your leaders keep on slandering this person, and you come out with wide smiles and photographs with this person. This is called hypocrisy.
Final word to you on the show, Anila Singh ji. Is this hypocrisy?
Absolutely not. And whole of the world knows the working of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And for his work, and because of his work, the latest example is when he went to US, the Bill Gates Foundation, they awarded him for different, for the Ayushman and for the different social works he has done.
Even Mr.
for
Banerjee today in his news conference
So,
praised
we must
Ayushman Bharat. We are completely out of time. Anila Singh ji, Anirban, I thank both of you for joining me here on Newsnight on Times Now World. Thanks for watching.